Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties on YouTube, so if you're just joining the stream, welcome in. You can catch the first 2 blocks when we upload them later on, but for now, we're going to be live here for the rest of the time, so thank you guys for joining us. And now, I am joined by Nick Volpetti and Colby Platt, and guys, we're going to talk MLB postseason because we're almost here. October is a day away, but playoffs started today, so hey, we get some September baseball a little bit early, and it's been exciting. I'm going to start with you, Colby. This has been day one. We've seen a couple wild card matchups. What have you seen from them so far?
So far, I've just seen a lot of pitching duels, a lot of good pitching. That's what I've seen. I feel like the first game of wild cards are usually teams putting out their best pitchers. I mean, Tarek Skubal, 14 strikeouts against the Guardians. I feel like we'll see a lot of runs tomorrow since that's when like secondary pitchers will start to come in. But for right now, these first games are just going to be a lot of pitching duels. I mean, Ohtani's going to pitch tonight. You're going to have him against Hunter Green. You had Garrett Crochet and Max Fried just pitch out tonight. Top of the 9th right now. Boston's up 3-1, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, and that's been a great game, and I want to start right there. Number 5 Red Sox against the number 4 Yankees. This is, I mean, just the ultimate classic matchup, right? I mean, Red Sox, Yanks, and now that game you said is coming to an end. So, Nick, what have you seen from that so far, and what do you expect to see for the rest of the series?
I think it's going to be really a really close series. I, a person who grew up in Massachusetts, I have been looking forward to this one for a really long time. Big Red Sox fan, of course, so I really hope we can beat the Yankees. Right now, it's looking good. I did not know it was 3-1. I'm really glad to hear that it's 3-1. Masataka Yoshida had a big hit a few innings ago on that one to put him up 2-1. The Yankees were leading 1-0 for a while after getting a home run from Anthony Volpe, but like this first game has been, I think we're going to see a close game tomorrow. I mean, these are 2 really evenly matched teams. I mean, Crochet and Fried, I mean, what more can you ask for in the playoffs, right? That is an incredible matchup, and both of these teams have great pitching. They both have a great top of the lineup, and I think they're, like I said, they're really evenly matched, and it's going to be a really close series. Yeah,
like you said, they're evenly matched, 2 historic teams, but right now they're strong. Like you said, on the pitching side, they got some bats as well. Colby, who do you think, going in, it's only one game, but who do you think is looking to get the edge in this series?
I think the Red Sox have more of a statement because they're going into Yankee Stadium, you know, as the visiting team in the rivalry. Yeah. So I think the Red Sox are just going to look to just jump them early. I think tomorrow they'll look to do the same exact thing. I mean, they may not have the bats that the Yankees do, especially with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and like the lineup that they have. But I think if they can just get to whoever the Yankees are pitching, just if they can just jump them when they're not expecting it, I think they can jump out to an early lead.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I got to ask you, Nick, I know you're a Red Sox fan, but this is huge if they can get this Game 1 victory. How do you think the rest of the series goes?
I mean, it's great to get off to a great start, especially when it's just a 3-game series. I mean, you give yourself that extra game. You give yourself some breathing room in Game 2. If you have a rough game, you have the 3rd game on Thursday to kind of roll back on if things don't go as according to plan. But, I mean, if they can wrap up this one, I hope that it can just be done on Wednesday. I really don't want to have to deal with that Game 3. It's going to have that Game 7 vibes if that does happen. But, I mean, like you said, I mean, they got Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Those are 2 of the most feared players in the league. I mean, the Red Sox, they got some great guys, but they don't have a player like Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton at the plate. So I think that's kind of an edge that the Yankees have. But, I mean, in this game, the bottom of the order for the Red Sox has been good. Nick Solgaard has a couple of hits. And Jarren Duran, he's had a nice game as well. So, I mean, if you can get some good performances from the bottom of the order, if you're the Red Sox, I think that's where you can have an advantage over the Yankees.
Yeah, all right, we're going to have to see, and we'll see how that ends. But I want to stick in the American League and talk about Tigers-Guardians. Tigers number 6, Guardians number 3. Tigers just snuck into the playoffs, basically. I mean, they had a strong start to the season, and they've just been falling as of late. Nick, what did you see from them earlier, and now what do you think they can do for the rest of the series?
Like you mentioned, it was like the biggest division lead choke in MLB history, what the Tigers did. It was remarkable. It looked like they were going to run away with this division, get one of the top 2 seeds, but they ended up being the very last team to get in. Luckily for them, the Astros had a rough end of the season, and they got in. But, I mean, all that matters is yeah, exactly. Exactly. All that matters now is that you play well in the playoffs, and they rolled the back of Tarek Skubal, who had 14 strikeouts today, just an incredible performance from probably the best pitcher in the American League. And they did a nice job in the 9th inning when the Guardians were threatening of shutting them down and getting the win. I think that the Tigers probably are a better team, so I'm not really surprised that they won this game. But we'll see how it goes when the Tigers won't have Skubal on the mound. Maybe the Guardians can you know, they're kind of a team that prides themselves on doing the little things.
Yes.
So we'll see if they can do a better job of that against the next pitch tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And they found a way, like you said, when you have Skubal, it's a little bit of an advantage here. So the Guardians had that one. We'll talk about Cubs, Padres in just a minute. Red Sox, Yankees coming to an end, and then Reds and Dodgers coming up a little later. But I just want to mention real quick, like you said, Astros were eliminated. So I'm sorry, I just got to hate just a little bit. I hated to lose that game to Cleveland, but it knocked out Houston. And I just really wanted to say for the Rangers, obviously didn't make these playoffs, but legendary manager Bruce Bochy has officially parted ways with the team after the 3 years. His contract has expired, but we wish Bruce all the best going forward, whether that's retirement or a front office role. He brought the first World Series to Texas, and that's something really, really proud of and really thankful to Bruce. And hey, wishing him the best going forward.
Absolutely.
But back to this series, Tigers-Guardians. What did you see from that today, Colby, and who do you think takes this one?
I mean, obviously, like you said, Tarek Skubal just absolutely destroyed the Guardians lineup. I don't think the Tigers maintain this though.
Yeah.
I mean, with Skubal not pitching tomorrow or in possibly Game 3.
Yeah, he's not pitching again.
I think the Guardians may come back and win this one. I think Skubal's just that good that you get Game 1. But obviously, once you start your best pitcher, you have to go to just your rest of your starters who have not as good as Skubal at all. So I think the Guardians may take it tomorrow and may take the series altogether.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Skubal, I mean, he's a Cy Young. He can do basically anything when he's on the mound. It's been incredible. But like you said, that's only one game, especially here, even in the Wild Card series. It's tough because it's a 3-game series. And it's so quick, so fast, and hey, one mistake, one slip up, everything can change. So I want to skip over to the National League. Padres, Cubs, we saw this one again earlier today. Nick, I'll start with you. What do you see from this series?
It was kind of an odd first game. I mean, the Cubs won despite not having a single hit with a runner in scoring position. How many times are you going to see that? They got the runs from a 2-run homer by Seiya Suzuki and a sac fly by Nico Horner in the 8th inning that gave them a bit of assurance. But, I mean, Matthew Boyd, he stepped up. He's had a rough last few starts of the season, but he stepped up when they really needed him to. I think this might be the most evenly matched series. I mean, the Tigers and Guardians are pretty evenly matched too, but I mean, this series is going to be really close. I think the Padres absolutely have what it takes. The Cubs are a team that, like, early on in the season, they were looking like one of the best teams. Some of their guys kind of tapered off in the second half for the Cubs, but I mean, today they showed that they can do it even when they don't score a lot of runs. They have a good pitching staff as well, and I think it's going to be a close series. But I do not think the Padres are out of it. They have a great lineup themselves. So I mean, I still think that this one can go either way, even though the Cubs won the first game.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And the Cubs, I think it's encouraging for them because if they were able to win that game without the best performance from their bats, guys like PCA, like Dansby Swanson, I think that really speaks to what they can do, like you said, defensively with pitching. And I think that's really important for them. I'll ask you, Colby, obviously just one game, but do you think the Padres can find a way to get back in this, or do you think the Cubs have the advantage?
I think this is different from Tigers Guardians. I think the Padres can find a way to get back into this, but I also do think the Cubs just have an advantage. I mean, the Cubs have a better home record than the Padres do an away record, and obviously, home field advantage plays a crucial aspect in any game in the playoffs. But I do think this one's more of just like who wants it more. If the Cubs come out tomorrow and play like they did today, they're going to win the series. But if the Padres come out and they want their hunger, they're going to take it from them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because the Padres, they're so streaky, I think, in a way that, I mean, they have so much talent throughout their lineup. I mean, even just, I don't know, they just find a way to, they can either make it happen or it just slips. And I'll ask you, Nick, do you think they find a way to make it happen, or do you think down 0-1 is just going to be too much to overcome?
I think at home the Cubs are going to get this done. I think today was a huge game for them to sort of let all those bad memories with PCA sort of falling off a cliff at the end of the season. Just get that out of your head. You're up 1-0. You only need to win 1 or 2 games now at Wrigley, and I really think they have what it takes. Like you said, the Padres, they've been really streaky, not just this season. Like, it seems like they're a team that has the talent to be able to go to the World Series, but they just can't get it done. They haven't even really gotten that close.
Yeah.
And like, except for the one time when they beat the Dodgers. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Down 1-0 away. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, even when they had Juan Soto in that lineup, but they couldn't quite find a way. And sorry to throw some shade at Juan Soto and the Queen Mets, basically. They found a way to once again knock themselves out of the playoffs, and there's trouble in Queens right now. It just has not been anything of what they hoped. I mean, you have a lineup of Lindor, Alonso, and Juan Soto with the richest contract in MLB history, and the Reds are the ones that beat you out. I don't know. I just got to ask real quick, how does that feel, and where do the Mets go from here?
It's bad. This is really bad. The Mets were 44-24 at one point in the season, and then their last 94 games, they were 16 games under 500. This was a complete choke. The Reds were not even that good. They only won 83 games, and even on the last day of the season, the Mets still had a chance. They needed the Reds to lose and for the Mets to win, and the Reds lost, and the Mets, they got shut out by the Marlins, who were already out. The Rangers know a thing or two about losing to the Marlins when you shouldn't. No offense to the Rangers, but that's what happened to the Mets as well. They couldn't win a series against a team that was already down and out. The Marlins, they played that game like it was their World Series. They really wanted to eliminate the Mets.
know.
If you watch the highlights, they were going nuts when they were so happy to knock them out. But yeah, the Mets, they only have themselves to blame. They had every opportunity. They only had to win 84 games, and they couldn't even do that. So it's bad for them.
The Marlins celebration in front of the dugout was hilarious.
The Mets broadcast was really mad about that.
Yeah, they were so mad, but sorry, New York. But we got to talk about Cincinnati because they made it in. Colby, they'll be taking on the Dodgers in a tough one. They have, the advantage technically, but it's like, this is the Dodgers. They're the defending champs. How do you think this series goes?
I think it's death, taxes, and the Dodgers losing to a team with the power of friendship in the playoffs.
There we go.
I think if the Mets made it, then the Dodgers win because the Mets don't have the power of friendship. They have the power. They have the power of Steve Cohen and the infinite money in the world. Cincinnati has the power of friendship with Ellie De La Cruz, Noel V. Marte, Tyler Stevenson, Hunter Green. The power of friendship will come together in Los Angeles, and the Cincinnati Reds will make the NLDS.
All right. Hey, we saw the Diamondbacks do it back in 23. Nick, I don't know. Reds, Dodgers, who do you think takes it?
I think this was going to go to 3 games. I think the Reds are going to find a way to at least win one of the first 2. But I think the Dodgers ultimately get it done. But I think it's going to be close. I think these Reds, they're hungry. They got in just barely. But I think that's going to give them some motivation. They're a team that a lot of people are counting out. And I think they're going to sort of ride on that a little bit. It would not surprise me if you're right. The Dodgers, we've seen them do this before. And we could absolutely see them do it again. But I think they will just get it over the line.
All right, and we'll have to see. And the Dodgers are just always an interesting one. It's like they won the World Series last year. We saw what happened in 23, though. And it's like, can history repeat itself? I don't know, but man, I got to go with the Reds. I'm willing it to happen. I'm willing it. But we're going to now move into NHL and talk about the Stars' start to the preseason.
Craving something fresh, flavorful, and made just for you? Look no further than Avesta, your go-to destination for a delicious, full-service dining experience. Dive into our customizable omelets, expertly crafted by our talented cook Jonathan, who guarantees every bite is perfection. All our dishes are handmade, prepared with only the freshest ingredients. Explore our assembly line where you can choose from any of our globally inspired dishes, or customize your plate. It's that easy. And let's not forget dessert. Indulge your sweet tooth with treats from Clark Bakery. With convenient payment methods including card or flex, it's the perfect dining spot for any occasion. Quench your thirst with our wide selection of drinks. Just hand your drinking card to our friendly waiter, and they'll bring your beverage of choice right to your table. When you're done savoring every last bite, our attentive staff will whisk away your tray. Enjoy the peaceful ambiance as you dine in, or use our takeout option for a meal on the go. Avesta.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants. I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm joined by Beth Spicer and Omar Najam. And guys, we're going to talk about the Dallas Stars. They've started their preseason last week, and they've gotten off to a pretty strong start. 3-1. They're playing right now, and they're up 2-1 right on St. Louis. So it's been nice. It's just preseason, I know, but they've had some starters in there along with some of the rookies. So I'll start with you, Beth. What have you seen from Dallas so far?
I've seen a lot of good things. I've seen a lot of mixing that forward line between our vets and our rookies and our new players who were, trying out between the Texas Stars and us. But I'm seeing a lot of good things. Just the only things that we're complaining about is shots on goal. That was a big problem for the Stars for the last few seasons. But because it's preseason, we're having so many new people that it's like, yes, this is a problem, but also we have a lot of new people who aren't going to stick around, so is it that big of a problem? I don't know yet.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings too because it's like, it's just preseason, and I think that's true. But then I'm like, man, I remember what happened in the playoffs last year. And I'm like, shots on goal were a little bit of a problem. So hopefully they can get that fixed. But Omar, 3-1, I mean, not a bad start at all. I think the Stars have shown a lot of good. What have you seen from them so far this preseason?
Just playing more physical. I feel like that's a good thing too. They have more hits on other teams than past seasons in preseason. So I expect when the regular season starts that they are hitting other teams, playing physical more than you've ever seen the Dallas Stars play before. And that's what I think Glenn will do.
All right, yeah, and we'll have to see. And guys, Glenn Gulutzan, the new head coach of the Stars, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously just 4 games through, but in this small sample size, Beth, I'll start with you. What have you seen from him and just the physicality maybe and the mentality he's brought to this team?
I've seen a lot more physical, like you said, and I think that's a really good thing because
Yes.
especially with our defense, that was a big struggle last season, especially in the postseason. So it's very good to have a lot more physical. I'm seeing him mixing that front line a lot more, which is concerning
I
at
have mixed
times,
feelings.
but also it has good chemistry that I think can build, especially with a team, because obviously you can't have your team get too old, and then what are you going to do? You have like all these new rookies, and what are you going to do with them? So I think, especially he's talked about putting people with a rookie and a vet, so that kind of builds chemistry in pairs. And I think that's kind of helpful. Like we have Ranson and Hintz is one of the pairs that he's trying to do. And I think that's really good for the team to get that chemistry building up before the season starts.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with that one. Hintz is such a great player, but I mean, Rantanen has just had a little more experience. If you can pass some of that along to Hintz, man, we could be in for a really good top line. So I'll ask you, Omar, we've seen, like we said, a good mix of the vets and the rookies. Which are some of the players that have impressed you the most so far?
Honestly, Maverick Bork.
Yes.
He's got 3 goals. He's been really picking it up, and I think that he's going to be one of the young players that is going to have to step up and take over and hopefully get into the top 6 forwards for the Dallas Stars. I'm hoping he's going to have a breakout season, so we'll have to see, but I think he's going to be the main reason. And Wyatt Johnson has been really good also, but I think Wyatt too as well could take it to that 3rd step where he is just maybe a goal leader for the Stars and maybe has like a breakout season. So.
Yeah, I like those picks a lot. I mean, Wyatt Johnson has been incredible, but I still think that there's more potential to be tapped. I mean, I think he's 22. Guys, I mean, what he's been able to do so quickly, and I credit Joe Pavelski for a lot of that. I mean, he was his roommate for those first couple years, and I think that, once again, it speaks to the veteran leadership that this team has. Even though Joe's gone, we still have those vets and guys like Sagan, like Ben, even Rantanen, I think is kind of becoming that type of leader and that type of player. So, guys, I mention a little more about Maverick Bork, like you said, because what he's been able to do is really, really exciting to me. A former first-round pick. He's a guy I really, really liked when they drafted him. And he's spent a lot of time in the AHL with Texas. But now, Beth, do you think this is his year to kind of have a breakout?
Oh, I definitely think so, especially mixing our vets and our rookies. I think this is his season. If he can get that chemistry with a lot of our front lines already, he's got it in the bag. He's got it to be one of our top scorers and to help us, especially get that postseason push that we need, because we still have a lot of our good lines for postseason. We just need a push, and he might be a key.
Yeah, he just might be. And I'll ask you, is there anyone else that's really stuck out to you so far in the preseason?
Not too many of them. We have a few defenders that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm really excited to see them come up on our defense, because that's where we need our help.
Yes.
And I'm excited that we're finally typing that in with Glenn, that we're getting more and more on defense.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, because we saw the defense just struggling a lot of times throughout last season in the playoffs as well. I'll ask you, Omar, do you think that what the Stars have done defensively is going to be enough, or do you think there's still a little more to be desired?
I think there's still a little more to be desired. I feel like they need to add at least one more piece.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, maybe at the trade deadline they come up with something. But I also like Nathan Bastian. I think that he's a second round, 41st overall pick. I think that if he could pick it up, that'll be really good. I mean, that's a really good. You're almost in the top 50 of NHL draft. So he was drafted in 2017. So I think he maybe could be another player that doesn't have a breakout year, but surprises some folks.
Yeah, I think that could be a good point. I think of Liam Bichel last season, what he was able to do and really become a consistent starter in the playoffs. And it's like, if we can get some more of that, our development, the mix between the young guys and the vets, I think that could be really key for this team. So I'll ask you, Beth, looking as a whole, they're starting to make some roster cuts. We've seen a few players move down. Have there been any surprises to you?
A few, Emil Hemming is one that I was kind of surprised that we let go, even though we have a lot of right wings. That's where we're kind of getting, especially kind of fighting against Rantanen. It's hard to pick new ones up, but I'm surprised that we let a lot of them go really fast, because I think we need some more depth over there, and just kind of having Rantanen as our sole right wing might come back to haunt us a little bit. I was a little surprised by that one, and Matthew Sinoff as well. Especially he had 2 goals last year with the Texas Stars, so definitely not star potential, but I think he's getting there, and I think having some more training with the Stars starting off would have been more helpful.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they can get some AHL run. I think that's a really big piece of that. But I'll ask you, Omar, are there any of these guys now kind of on the roster bubble you think could surprise and make this team?
Justin Hyrochekwin. He's really good. I actually really wanted Antonio Stranges, but he just got put down to the Texas Stars.
Okay, yeah.
But I think he might, injuries or anything like that, he could go back up. I really think he scored against the Colorado Avalanche last preseason game, and that was our only goal. So I think that's a plus. I feel like he'll come back up during the season.
Yeah, it could happen. I'm a big fan of him as well. And the one thing, as you mentioned, injuries. I think that's the one kind of about this preseason is your captain, Jamie Benn, did go down with a collapsed lung. He's expected to miss around 4 weeks. Could be more, could be less. It's kind of a tough injury to judge. But I'll ask you, Beth, how concerned are you for Jamie Benn's injury status, especially as he's getting up there in age?
I'm concerned, but I'm not concerned for the team as a whole.
Okay.
Because I think we've done this before, especially that 2020-21 season. We had to go without Jamie Benn in the postseason, and we made it through. I mean, obviously we didn't win, but we have made it without Jamie Benn in the past, and especially getting up there in age. I think with all the young talent we have coming up, I think that we have room to move around when injuries go down with our vets. So I'm concerned. But I think with a new coach and a new strategy, I think they know how to work around it.
Yeah, I could see it happen. And Jamie's a tough guy. I mean, he came back to the bench and he was like, Coach, something just feels a little off. Like, I don't know. I think I could play, but, it's preseason. And then they do the x-rays and it's like, there's a hole in your lung. I mean, he was hospitalized. Fortunately, he's going to be all right. He had the surgery. It's just a matter of recovery. So I'll ask you, Omar, for Ben and for the rest of this team, how do you think going into the season they can work around this and hopefully get him back?
Just have maybe Mikko Rantanen step up and be like that assisted, or Tyler Seguin. Just have other guys, even young guys, step up. Wyatt Johnston, Maverick Bork, maybe Liam Bichel, on the defenseman. Just guys be physical and step up while your captain is out. That captain. Jamie Benn's a really quiet person, but he does hype keeps the team energized. He makes big hits when it counts. And so I feel like we'll just have these young guys. This is their chance to step up right at the beginning of the season, So it's kind of a good thing maybe. Not saying his injury is good, but it'll just have younger players have a chance to step up and get an opportunity to do something for the team.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. It's a deep team. Jason Robertson's one more guy I'll throw out there because, man, if he can step up and have that kind of season like we've seen in the past, it can be a good one for Dallas. So we're going to move on, though, to our final block and talk about UFC Fight Night and preview UFC 320.
Same old city? You want to learn something and go overseas? Then study abroad with one of many UNT Study Abroad programs. You can find a Study Abroad office right here at Markey Hall, room 145.
My study abroad program left on me a great impression. We have a lot of different programs and it varies. We have faculty-led, affiliate, and exchange programs. When you're ready to leave for your study abroad program from UNT, you're gonna go through pre-departure orientation and modules so that you are prepared.
The power to turn the world into your classroom is right here at UNT with our study abroad programs. Take flight and take in charge of your education.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and it's hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
Back to SportsZone. I'm your host, Steven Lucero, and we're going to talk some UFC Fight Night. We're going to recap last weekend and then do some preview of UFC 320 coming up. I'm joined by Zeke Rios and a special appearance from our sports director, Nash Lowry. So, guys, we're going to get into it. Carlos Ulberg defeated Dominic Reyes in a round 1 KO. That's pretty much as good as you can ask for. Nash, I'll start with you. What did you see from that fight, and how's this kind of get Ulberg some momentum going forward?
In this fight, for Carlos Ulberg, there wasn't really much momentum to gain for him because the match only lasted 30 seconds.
Exactly.
There wasn't
That's
enough
the thing.
momentum to gain for anybody. For Dominic Reyes, which is really the storyline, which I think Zeke is going to agree with me on this one. You hate to see him go out in only 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Carlos Ulberg is not fine talent, but this guy might have beaten John Jones. Yes. And to see him just 5 years after, actually 6 years after this fight, against John Jones, to be beaten by Carlos Ulberg in the first round of his own main event Fight Night card. It's a little bit sad to see, but I saw that Reyes was getting a little bit fainted out by Ulberg's strikes, and yeah, he just caught him with a good one, Zeke.
Yep, 100%. I mean, it's tough to see, like you said, Reyes. I mean, he was the guy who so-called beat the guy in John Jones.
Yeah, whatever you say.
But honestly, it was really good to see him come back, you know, after such a long layoff and all of the injuries. He was on a 3-fight knockout streak, and he was doing really good, but I was a little hesitant when he was coming up against Ulberg because a lot of the guys he fought, they're not the best talent in the UFC. Anthony Smith, Nikita Krylov, you know, just...
And that was an aging Anthony Smith who was already won, what, 2 losses, maybe 3 losses?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
and he's retired now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not
yes,
even
I
in
mean,
the
now
game.
he's doing the post show with Dustin Poirier,
Yeah.
so it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so I was a little hesitant watching him go up against Carlos Ulberg.
Mm-hmm.
Ulberg's young, he's fast, he's a good back foot fighter, and Reyes just gave him too much respect and blitzed in and made the mistake.
Yeah, and just the fact that it was 30 seconds, I think, is what was surprising to me. I thought that there'd be a little bit more go, but I'll ask you, Nash, for Ulberg, 30 seconds, did you were surprised by this result, or do you think it was going to go a little deeper?
I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think that Reyes lost this fight. I think that Ulberg won it.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of like a weird way to say it, but this was more of a talent showing out from Carlos Ulberg, defeating such a big name like Dominic Reyes. And Reyes was more towards the bottom of the rankings, or either had just fallen out of the rankings. So maybe this will catapult Ulberg into rankings, but honestly, this is not the light heavyweight fight that the world is focused on.
Yes.
Good win for Ulberg. Still, we're looking on to bigger fish.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I want to move on down the card. Jimmy Crute defeated Ivan Erslan in a round 1 submission. And this one, again, quick out. Zeke, I'll let you break this one down for us.
Man, that was such an interesting submission. It was almost like a pro wrestling camel cradle. It was like a Walls of Jericho type thing. It was really cool to see.
That's okay. So that's actually super funny that you say that, because I was rewatching the fight and I was thinking about it, where it's a submission where you don't really know. It shouldn't work. When you look at it, it shouldn't work. The way, if you managed to not catch the fight, he had his hands gripped up like this, and Zeke, he was kind of pulling up on the neck. He didn't even have a leg lock.
Yeah, so basically the way that works, imagine like a stick of spaghetti, and it bends and bends and bends, and if you don't tap, it breaks, and that stick of spaghetti is your spine.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Good delivery on that.
Yeah, you want to tap to that, because I mean, if you don't, your neck will break, your spine right here will break. It's a big problem. So.
Yeah, that's not ideal, and you know, I think
I
think I understand the tap. So Nash, what did you see from that fight?
From that fight, it was really good to see him win that one, especially after the injury lists that Crute had gone through. You know, we talk about his fight. We just mentioned Anthony Smith earlier in the block today. Jimmy Crute had a big knee injury against Anthony Smith at UFC 261. And that caused him to have total knee construction surgery. And he's been one of the good stories to follow along the UFC, because he's only 29, which means fighting Anthony Smith really, really young in his career, going through total knee reconstruction surgery. He had nerve damage in his knee that kept him out for a long while. And then to see him come and win, and especially such an interesting fashion, this is one that's going to be on Jimmy Crute's highlight tape, you know, where you see the interesting knockouts like Khalil Rountree's with his oblique knockout, and Mauricio Rufy with his roundhouse knockout against Bobby King Green. This is one of those that's going to stay on the highlights for a really long time, Steven.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, I want to look ahead just a little bit, because it was a great fight night, but it happened quick. It was like, I don't know. I think this might be a little more exciting. UFC 320 coming up in Las Vegas this weekend, and we got to talk about the main event.
Yes,
Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. This is a rematch here, and it's going to be an exciting one. Nash, what are you seeing from this fight?
So this is the main event, UFC 320. We are ready to go here. So these two fighters fought against each other, UFC 313. Stephen, you actually did the SportsZone
we
block.
were here.
So yes, we were here when that happened. We've been covering these guys since the first fight. In that fight, and I want to know if you agree with me on this, Zeke, I saw a lot of feints from Ankalaev, sort of similar to how people fight Robbie Lawler. You know, they try and juke him out with feints, really get the nervous system going, and that honestly caused Alex to be really slow. Just not the way we saw him fight against Yuri and against Khalil Roundtree, where he's moving in that zen, you know, he kind of finds his focus. And against Magomed, he wasn't able to do that because he was fearing the takedowns and he was giving him a lot of jukes. So I want to ask you, Zeke, like, did you see the same thing that I saw in their previous fight?
100%. I mean, I really think it comes down to Pereira getting off in this fight. I mean, when he fights, he emits this aura and he just really puts his pace on his opponents. And it was almost like watching Corey Sandhagen fight Umar Nurmagomedov. I mean, he was defending every takedown against Ankalaev, but he was so worried about the takedown that he wasn't striking.
Correct.
And Ankalaev was just putting the striking on him and beating him in the striking. So, yeah, it's just one of those situations. If he can get off first, then he wins. He needs to be aggressive.
Yeah, Magomed is an aggressor, and I think that you look at that, it's going to be very crucial, I think, early on in this fight to see who gets that upper hand quickly. Nash, do you expect a similar result from 313, or do you think Pereira can flip the switch?
No, with a training camp, especially against Magomed, who really worked on the feints, this is something where you can train. You can train your body to be less reactive to the feints, you know, just like Robbie Lawler did. He fought at lightweight and then went to heavy, and then went to welterweight. Not lightweight to heavyweight, that'd be crazy. But yeah, fighting between those two, you know, he was able to go up, and then he worked on that throughout his career. Did he get beat by that same exact thing? Yes. So I think that's going to be Ankalaev's main method of attack going into 320 on Saturday night. But Alex he's ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's a matter of the two fighters are going to know each other's game plan, and can they beat each other when they know what each other are going to do? Yeah,
it's going to be interesting. And Zeke, I'm going to ask you to predict it. Who do you think wins this one?
All right, I'm going to put my faith in Alex Pereira. I think he can make the adjustments. He told ESPN that he was fighting at 40% when he fought against Ankalaev the first time. And of course, he was very active coming in on short notice, saving a lot of UFC cards that year. So I'm going to put my faith in Poatan, and I believe that he can do what he needs to do and get the knockout.
All right.
We'll say round three.
Okay, round three. So going deep, how are you feeling, Nash?
Yeah, that's a good take. I mean, round three, I feel like this one, because the previous fight went to a decision, and it ended up with Magomed Ankalaev winning, of course. So I feel like this one either ends in the regular fighter rounds, and if it goes into the championship rounds, that means we're seeing a decision. That's what I feel like. If it gets to round 4 and 5, we're going to see a decision. And by that point, Alex, it's going to be leaning in Ankalaev. If it gets to the championship fights, Ankalaev is going to win this one. If it goes before the championship rounds, then Alex is going to walk away.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I'm going to book it. I'm going with Magomed.
Sure,
I think
fine.
that
Just
I think he does it again. I think he finds a way. But I want to move on through the card into bantamweight. Merab Dvalishvili against Corey Sandhagen. This is a pretty interesting co-main, a little bit different, not the the craziest one, but I think it could be competitive. Zeke, how are you feeling about this fight?
Man, Merab is a machine. He is literally nicknamed
the
Machine.
you got his name.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so good. I love watching him fight. A lot of people don't like him. He took out fan favorite Sugar Sean O'Malley. That's fine by me.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. And
so,
he submitted him.
Is Sean even a fan favorite now? If you beat a fan favorite twice, I feel like you become the fan favorite. Yep. And I feel like that's what Merab is now.
100%. I mean, his online presence is really fun to watch. I mean, he's a great guy. But he's going to put the pace on. I mean, he has one button and it's go. That's all he does is he just breaks you. He drags you into the deep waters and he drowns you. And that's what he's going to do to Corey Sandhagen, I think. So.
All right. You think Sandhagen drowns, Nash, or do you think he finds a way to stay afloat?
So with this one, I mean, Merab, he's only 34. He's only lost 4 fights, and those 4 fights haven't been in the last, 3 years. So Merab, he's moving way, way too good right now. He's in the top 5 as far as unbeaten streaks in the UFC. Right now, I believe he's at 9. Fact check me on that, either 9 or 10. So Merab is moving way too good right now, and I fear Corey Sandhagen's just next in line. Sandhagen just hasn't been active enough as Merab, and maybe active enough isn't the right word to use. How about this? He hasn't been active enough against the same quality of crop that Merab has, because Merab has knocked off Sean O'Malley twice. He's knocked off Umar in a great fight, 5-round dog walk against Umar Nurmagomedov. against him, and he made Umar look like baby food. Yeah. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my goodness. So Corey, he's got the striking, which is the good benefit of him. He's got the striking to him, and Marab, he's able to kind of parry the striking a little bit, but I think that Corey Sanhagen's just next in line, man.
All right, it's going to be interesting. I know there's one more you want to talk about, Yuri Prohaska and Khalil Roundtree. This one, I think that's a pretty good third fight. I'll let you start us off, Zeke. How are you feeling about this one?
Man, this is the people's main event. This is going to be a barn burner. I can't wait. I think Yuri Prohaska is just too good. He had those freaking wars with Alex Pereira, and I just think that he has what it takes. Look what he did to Jamal Hill. He made Jamal Hill look
silly.
Yeah.
Look silly.
It was a problem. So I think that Yuri's going to use the head movement that he's learned and has acquired over his fights with Pereira, and he's going to win.
All right.
Yeah, just to build up everything, why this fight is going to be so good. So you've had Alex Pereira. He's had the hottest streak in the UFC for the past 2 years, and he's beaten Yuri twice, and he's beaten Khalil once. They produce great stare downs, so you know that Yuri has to have good stare downs because he went up against Alex. Khalil has to have good stare downs going up against Yuri, right? So now for this one, we're going to get those two fan approaches. Alex was too good of a striker, and Khalil and Yuri could not beat them. So now you get the two losers against Alex pinned up against each other. If you have not seen a UFC event to this day, tune into this one. This is going to be the one this year that's going to make the most fans out of any card for the rest of the year, Steven.
All right, guys. I think it can be interesting, but gentlemen, we are out of time.
Whoa.
We're out of time. Thank you all for watching SportsZone. NTTV Sports is our socials. Make sure to check them out. Thursday, we have our SportsZone show as well. And make sure to tune in next week for a very special MLB postseason show. Until then, have a good night. We'll see you next week on the SportsZone.